So in New Jersey, we have two kinds of child custody. Physical custody, which is where the child lives or resides, and we have legal custody, which is decision-making on the part of the parents. So two very separate types of custody. So we may have a primary residential parent and a parent of alternate residence, and we may have joint legal custody, which means that the parents will make decisions relative to the child on a joint basis, and neither one of them really has veto power over the other. We have two kinds of custody in New Jersey. If you have true joint custody, what you're saying is that the child or children live with each parent 50% of the time, which means 50% of the time they're with this parent, 50% of the time they're with this parent. That would be joint physical custody. Joint legal custody, which is very common in New Jersey, is very, very common. Almost every case has a joint legal custody, which is joint decision-making custody, which just means that each parent has a say in the health, safety, and welfare of the child. Who they see for a doctor, are they going to get braces? Are we going to let them take driver's training? What colleges might they go to? Those types of decisions, whether or not the child lives with 50-50 with either parent, are always joint, in joint legal custody. Contrary to popular belief, in New Jersey, sole custody is very rare. It is very rare. The legislature in New Jersey prefers that both parents be actively involved in the child's life. They also believe that the child is entitled to access to both parents. So achieving sole custody would mean that the other parent would need to be unfit. For example, maybe they have a substance abuse problem that prevents them from parenting correctly. And also the child would need to live with one parent all the time with basically no parenting time to the other parent whatsoever. And New Jersey really doesn't take that lightly because we believe as a fundamental premise that the child is entitled to contact with both parents. So in New Jersey, many decisions are made by the court in the child's best interest. It's a legal standard, and it is something that is very, very fact-specific. So we look to things like, are we asking the child to move far away from their friends and family? Are we asking the child to go back and forth from parent to parent to parent to parent? Maybe they live kind of far apart. Are we talking about a parent who has a substance abuse issue, and that would not be in the child's best interest to be with that parent as much as with the other parent? So it's a very, very fact-specific inquiry. And if you are a parent, then you can kind of get a feel for what that might look like. It's a stable environment that is supportive and that fosters all the connections that developmentally appropriately assigned to the children. The court often doesn't have the wherewithal to understand or determine what that is. And so in New Jersey, very often we have experts appointed, mental health experts, to evaluate what is in the child's best interest so that the court can have the information and the ability to make a decision that is in the child's best interest.